Alright guys, hello and welcome back to me. The final one for the day. It's the Papis facing off against Myrmidons. Both these teams currently, I believe, undefeated. I'm not sure what the round 2 game status is, but we're on round 3. So Rank, have you been keeping track of what's going on in round 2?
No.
Okay, so they may or may not be undefeated. They may or may not be 1-1. They at least won both their respective round 1 games, so they're at least 1-0. Take that as you will.
Yeah, both of them.
I
and
see
of course,
something...
Moonman and Team Bizarre. They're both 0-1. That's as far as we know so far,
Yeah.
but...
There may or may not have been a round 2. We're not entirely sure. We should probably be aware of this, but we are not, so... Yeah. We're awesome. Hades, first
I
ban.
know.
Can you say you're surprised about that one? I can bet you I can predict
well,
another ban that's going to be coming out inside of Myrmidons in just a moment.
Like, Ullr, it's probably going to be the second ban. To be perfectly honest, it's probably going to be the second ban. But Mogal, I mean, we've seen what his Hades can do over multiple weeks of the Challenger Cup. So not making it through this time, he did play some Wukong last game. That's a little bit of a differential out. It's not a Chuck, it's not Hades, so it was good to see him expand the God Pool a little bit and bring it to the fore. So that's a really, really good job from Myrmidons, and especially Mogal in particular. Whether they can do it again this time.
Well, that was not a Thor ban. Or, that was not a Thor ban. That was clearly not a Thor ban. He was actually locked in first pick for the Poppies. That was not an Ullr ban, that was an Ymir ban. I guess they're similar-ish, kind of. Frost Giant. I mean, they're both Norse, but I mean, that's kind of where the similarities end. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Thor, though, got first pick. Dayla going to bring that over to the jungle. On the other side, Ares getting hovered over. Looking for some big early game pressure for Myrmidons, potentially.
How many times have we talked about that Ymir ban, though? How many times? You were just like, yo, we're not playing Ymir. Ymir is just not available. And, I mean, when you look at it across multiple different regions, right? I'm from Australia, so I know the Australian region. The Australian region really, really likes to play Ares more so than Ymir. Why is Ymir so strong? Late game scaling. Why do we pick Ares some more? We like to fight early on. Europe, not so much heavy fights, heavy pressure, but then again, we've been seeing a bunch of Chark and a bunch of Hades in the solo.
Yeah, they're both definitely picks that can be taken for sure. Apollo gets locked in on the other side. They're looking for Sylvanus. We saw David Arnaz play that a couple times so far. No, one so far, to be honest about it. We've seen a lot of Sylvanus play today. He's kind of come back into the front line of things. It was a good long while. People kind of forgot about him. He was banned a lot. Like, he was first pick, first banned for a while. And it's like, oh yeah, Athena can go everywhere else. And then someone's like, oh yeah, Sylvanus, about that guy. Let's pick all the other supports instead. He will get locked in. Also picking up Poseidon for the mid lane for Archangel.
Ooh, it'll be interesting to see how Archangel plays on that one. The game that we did see in the first round, I believe he was playing Janus, and played it quite successfully. Actually, round 2 games have just been locked in on the brackets. If you want to see that in the chat, !brackets is the command. And 2-0 for both Myrmidons and Papis. So this game decides who goes top of the group, who finishes as second, and Moonman Team Bizarre are both 2 losses. So that'll decide 3rd and 4th at the end of this week, but we've got one more week, don't forget.
Shyamalan get banned out. I'm like, oh my god, another Hunter ban. I'm like giddy and grinning about it. I don't know why. It's a weird reaction. Batz was locked in for the jungle as well. These team comps right now, I'm excited about this game because, like we said, both of these teams are going to be forced to be reckoned with. They're the favorites going in for sure. The French facing off against the Spanish in this one. I know the chat, everyone, their respective, countrymen cheering for their teams. They want to see these guys going forward in a big way and potentially getting through to the SPL in a few more weeks. It's still early. It's still anybody's game. And the way the EU scene is looking, it's not going to be an easy fight. So if they can get themselves off to a very strong lead in week 1, they're definitely going to put themselves in a spot to clinch a seat in the the top 2 teams from each group move on to the grand final for the Challenger Cup in week 8. So it's going to be important stuff going forward. Agni gets banned out, kind of the Poseidon. We're not going to deal with Agni because why bother with it? 2 more picks to be had. Myrmidon's looking to pick up 1 more before it's over the Poppies.
Xbalanque being banned out as well. That's interesting to see. Xbalanque, especially in coming over Ojo Boom's Ullr. We could see an Ullr coming through from Ojo Boom. I am very interested, but he's going to be counter-pickable is the problem here. That's the big problem. But with Bologna off the table, this might be just fine.
There's a hover on the noodle. We'll see if that one gets locked on in. It could be a possibility. This would be interesting. Mages in the solo lane, not something we see there. Okay, no noodle. No celebration. I'm sad, so I can't even do it with like a proper attempt at a voice. It's gonna be Ull. Yeah, Ojaboom's Ull play is just absurdly good, but the noodle. Who doesn't love the noodle? Not much else I can say about that.
This is new to me, this noodle reference, right?
Kalkin is he used to be the noodle. He's still noodle-ish, but he's not the noodle. He's no longer the noodle. He's been stripped of that title. He turned into a
Why
human.
Why was he called the noodle?
In a Slithers, he's noodle-like.
Ah, so Medusa is the new noodle.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Okay, anyway, yeah.
To be fair, you can't look at her, so you can't actually verify she's a noodle because you'll turn to stone. And they're like, well, you'll know, you're now a statue, so it doesn't really do any good.
Ojaboom is my favorite player, and Ullr, his Ullr, whoa, is that? Yeah, that's a solo lane Wukong coming through. So Mogar's going to play this 2 games straight, and this time it's into the Ojaboom Ullr. He played exceptional in the last game. I was watching that. There's, you know, he had pressure around the map. He used that cudgel really, really well to provide some lane pressure, but this is Ojaboom's Ullr we're talking about here.
Stevie Beefy played
this is gonna be a big lane.
Stevie played that lane as Fenrir last game very, very well, but it was just basically down to the fact that Magic Cudgel is a decent bit of ranged poke, and Seething Howl, well, it's a good amount of sustain. Early on in lane, especially against that Wukong, wasn't able to find the wave pressure and clear. Ull, on the other hand, he'll have ranged poke. We saw it early on with Hades, kind of that same situation. You have ranged attacks. Yeah, you can take the Magic Cudgel, but guess what? If I land a stun, you're going to take not 1, not 2, but probably 3 abilities plus some in-hand attacks on the back of it. It's going to be a lot more poke that Ojaboom can potentially dish out. But against that Wukong, it's a warrior. He's not going to be as squishy as an assassin would be or a mage would be. Okay, Hades, to be fair, he's a little bit more tanky. But if Mogal plays this right, he should be able to lay out the hurt onto Ojaboom as well. So it's going to be a very curious matchup to see how that one plays out.
Yeah. Guys, if you're keen for this game, this is Papis versus Myrmidons. This is the big 2, or a couple of the big 2 of Europe. Myrmidons made finals and won a few of the Challenger Cups. EU was incredibly close. That meant the Papis slid down the order. Let us know who you think is going to win in the Twitch chat. Give us a hashtag MYRWin or a hashtag PapiWin. Tell us who you want to win, because I don't know. I'm favoring Ullr at this stage.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's the battle of the French versus Spanish. Spanish words are hard. We'll see who comes out victorious here in just a few minutes, guys. Alright, guys. Hello and welcome back. It is time for the Papis to face off against the Myrmidons. It is going to be the game out of round 3. Last one for the day. They're looking for this invade on the right-hand side. Maybe just a ward. They didn't actually find anybody to look to kill. Papis want these big invades. We saw back in round 1 that it kind of backfired in that game.
It's curious that they're trying to invade into an Ares, though. Like,
yeah.
Why would you invade into an Ares? That's just...
That's
risky.
Ares has the cripple, but look at the rest of the lineup in the Papis. They have the double stun. They have the stun. They have the wall. They have the whirlpool. They have the grab, or the root. And they have the impale or the pillar. They have a lot of crowd control on their own side as well. Whereas Myrmidons, level 1, they don't have quite so much crowd control, so it's like a back and forth trade. They have a cripple of their own, basically, what it comes down to in the end.
Yeah, and a lot of damage that comes out from Ares, I guess, as well, but that's a... Magic Cudgel, if it can be layered across 5 people at level 1, that's actually a significant chunk of damage as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And take a look at the right-hand side of the map for Myrmidons. It's the monkey in a round lane.
It is. It is indeed. One of those monkeys will likely be leaving for the mid lane here shortly, but after that, there will still be all sorts of monkey games going on over there. Maybe some shenanigans from Ojaboom as well. He's not a monkey, so he can't join in the fun. Nevertheless, as the game gets underway, pressure coming out of the Papis lineup over there. We'll see. David Arnaz, it's not going to be a Vampiric Shroud start on that Sylvanus, going for the more traditional Watcher's Gift. The pressure being applied to Warchi right now. Good verdant growth, plus an Impound Arco keeps them at bay.
Good, really nice trades early on. I mean, also they've got the Wisps. They will have the Wisps online at level 3 as they opt for the grab. At that level 2 point, the Wisps are going to start healing up. But look at the damage on towards Stardance. One more in-hand coming through from Warchi, but he's trying to body block. Minions were there, and they did do the work coming through for Myrmidon. Still looking for Stardance as Warchi. He'll have Impale in a second. He's got to hit it. Yeah, he did find it, but now down goes the Serenade. Can they find Arkle? No, I don't think Warchi can do so.
First Blood, though, still ended up going over to Myrmidon, so they win out in that trade. Mid lane, Dalo taking a little bit of poke here, and a bit of pressure. Berserker Barrage putting some back onto Druided. But Daylo will survive in the end. Look at that little plant here in the mid lane, just to share that love of the mana. So it was a level 1 verdant growth start coming out from David Arna's. Not really relevant anymore at this point, but nevertheless, the monkey business has partially shifted at least to the mid lane, and Daylo almost on the the bad end of it. The poo was flung, and Daylo almost took it to the face.
Throwing poo. This is really good.
That's what monkeys do.
Yeah.
One other thing. It's like their favorite pastime.
Oh god. Anyway, so let's talk about Ojo Boom has actually opted to go for the Transcendence Rush on this right-hand side of the map as well. It's interesting to see that both the Papis Hunter and Solo Laner on a Hunter are opting for the exact same build. That's really, really interesting. It's something they've basically done the math and said, hey, for these two gods, we think that this is the best strat.
Yeah, and that's that poke coming in as we were talking about earlier. 3 health pots were in hand for Ojo Boom, but the question is going to be how much can Moe. There's another Magic Cudgel harass onto the top of his head. It's going to be a rough lane still going forward. That Bluestone Pendant, while nerfed with that mana buff, at least on Wukong, is still a very, very effective starting item. Another one! Ojo Boom. Just getting the beating.
At least got sustain once he gets into that melee form, which is nice now that he's at level 5, but left-hand side mid-camps are literally 5 seconds away from spawning. Daylo is getting jumped on by Dardes and Draudid. Warchi, what can he find?
Yeah, there's a Poseidon, a Kraken thrown out, rather. And not quite finding a kill onto anybody, as Harpies were brought down the left-hand side. We'll see if they fight for the right, but it looks like for now at least, actually Thor's going up in the air. We'll see if they go in for that steal. It will be a 2v2. Dardes not going to get caught by the Anvil of Dawn. Damage comes out, grab not going to connect either. There's the Whirlpool drop down, as Dardes will end up falling to Daylo.
But down comes that Fear No Evil, focusing back on towards Daylo from the side of Myrmidons. He's gonna get out of there, and I think that camp as well went over to the Papis, so a nice early advantage. 2 kills for 1. Snowball potential starting to come around this mid lane.
Yeah, that solo lane though, Ocean's Ullr is just crazy, but you can see the back and forth trade. He doesn't actually he's not able to use that sustain you're talking about in the melee stance. If he tries to melee minions, Mogal will just completely rip him a new one for even thinking about doing it. I mean, it's not, right now it's just Magic Cudgels keeping his health bar as low as it is. A Tiger Stance stun with the damage and the stun, plus a Master's Will, Warrior's Will, plus a 2, a spinny, staffy to the side of the head rather than the top of the head, could spell his death and demise, so... Yeah. You don't know the ability names, you gotta make up something that vaguely describes it, so...
Spinny, staffy. I love it.
You knew what I meant, so it was effective.
There's some very good reasons I like casting with you, and I think that's one of them. That's one of the very best ones. Ojo Boom's gonna go base here, and Mogal stops his base. He baited Ojo into basing. What?
That was for Transcendence. So
Transcendence, yeah.
It was he was looking to go back anyway. It just so happened he was low in health that particular instance. Nevertheless, yeah, it is Master's Will for Wukong. There's also Warrior's Will on Guan Yu. I was briefly confused as to which one was which. We have since figured it out.
Tectonic Rift and Tectonic Shift.
Yeah. It was nice when Cabrakan was like never played because I never had to remember which one was which, and now it's like it's always Tectonic Shift, and now it's occasionally the opposite ones. But it will forever be spinny, staffy. So much better.
And that objective on the left-hand side of the map is definitely the Fire Giant.
It is. I'm surprised she's actually still here. She's still exhausted going back from that one round doing game where they were just pulling her constantly. And that was a Papis game, so that might happen again.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, good chance. Papis really like to fight around that. That seems to be their major thing to do when Gold Fury is on the fight. Look at the zoning coming out on the left-hand side of the map. David Arnaz is just not even rotating. He's sitting here, and look at the stacks that are online for Arkle. 20 already up on the Transcendence, but only 5 online for that Devo Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's a little bit more power, but the sustain not quite there. We'll see how this one plays out going forward, because Warchi has a little bit of a lead right now. See, David's kind of hanging around looking for the opportunity. I want to make sure that darters can't blink in Papa No Escape, because there's no beads available on Warchi for the time being. Yeah, he has Desert Fury, can avoid the pull, but you don't necessarily want to have to rely on that all the time, just as in the CC community.
See that? Look at he drops the pillar in the background to just to sort of control Dardes. Dardes can't walk up with that Searing Flash, and then just straight in the Impale on Arkle. That's some really, really nice play. And the combo that can come through from David Arnaz, if he ever lands a snare,
right lane.
With that
Mogal, single-digit health surviving that fight.
Oh,
that's a rough one. So Ojo Boom, yeah, we're talking about it. The tides may have turned over there. The Magic Cudgel is max rank. It's not going to be getting any stronger really going forward. Yeah, he's working towards a Jotun's Wrath. It will certainly help things out in a big way, but a big part of a warrior's kit just does come from the level scaling and ranks on abilities. As right side Harpies fight comes out, David Arnaz finds that kill with the help of the Kraken.
Dardes, though, he's got the no escape ticking. He's gonna at least lock some people up, but Archangel's got it for now. Now Tynes comes in with the unstable vortex. Thor slams down, looking to try and get out of here. He just says, Archangel, you're on your own, son. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Delu had no health bar to speak of. Gets out of there. Tynes at least gonna trade one back, but it's only gonna be a 2 for 2 after all of that.
Yeah, it was messy, and presumably somebody killed the Harpies. No idea who. Tynes taking the advantage of the situation to push the tower and get some damage onto that. With the enemy mid laner there, it's not always the easiest thing to accomplish, especially against Poseidon, who has very, very strong wave clear. So taking a peek down at what's going on, Tynes does have that Doom Orb, second game in a row. Last game, I think he died twice the entire game, or 3 times. There's a very few number of deaths. If he's able to do that again, that Doom Orb is going to be a big power spike compared to the Shoes of the Magi, rather, that Archangel had picked up.
Oh yeah, 40 magical power plus 2 magical power per stack, and he's at 46. Wow, that's a lot. An Ojo Boom! Whoa! Get wrecked over here, Mogal. Mogal's not having any fun at all.
No.
This is Ojo Boom just going nuts. I love Ojo Boom's Ullr. I love it so much. If you ever want to learn to play Ullr, this guy's the guy you need to watch. But Arkle might get engaged on. Might.
Yeah, might. And looks like he's sort of is. And whether we're able to disengage them, they're not committing to this one too much. The level advantage is in favor of the Poppies in that dual lane. Warp Cheese up a level, as is that Dardas just leveled up to even things out a little bit. So David Arnaz still a little bit ahead. Cripple's getting applied right now. They're looking for the fight. No escapes potential.
Down goes the Wrath of Terror. Doesn't quite land on towards Dardes, and Desert Fury doesn't land as well. Minions got it with the combination of those wisps. David Arnaz is going to pick it up, and well, the dot damage is the victor this time around, just not the dot damage you were really thinking of.
Yeah, came out the other way. It was a close back and forth fight. David almost actually fell as well, but Archangel just could not connect the final hit needed to secure the kill. So it was Jotun's Wrath picked up by Mogo in that right lane. It'll definitely help out a bit, some penetration, as well as cooldown reduction, so those Master's Cudgels, the Staffy bash your head in ability is one.
Staffy, bashy.
Yes, that's better. I like that one a lot more. Gotta keep it consistent. Staffy, bashy, and a Staffy, spinny. What's the transformation one?
Staffy, disappeary.
Staffy, nyan, Polo from Best Up. Cat sometimes, like I don't know. Nevertheless, yeah. What's his ultimate then? Staffy, floaty. I guess that works too. We have now renamed all of Wukong's abilities. And they're all better, clearly. Nevertheless,
I was looking for like a better name for disappear, something like that. Smoke and Mirrors is nice, but you know it's too long.
Yeah, I think it's something. Still have a long while for this game potentially to go on. We'll see if we can come up with something better as the game progresses. For now, though, looking at that soul lane, Mogao once again this is kind of repeat of the last game. So Mogao had front control of the lane. He was getting forced back to base over and over. We'll talk about that in a second as he's rotating over mid lane. Found a Son of Dela with that Tiger stance.
Ooh, down comes that ultimate from David Arnaz, though, trying to get himself out of here. In the meantime, Dardes has still got a huge health bar. That's a fantastic crack, and it's going to land on towards 3. But now, look at this. This is going to be a rotation coming through. Tynes will find David Arnaz to be the first kill. Ojobu might be second.
Yep, that's going to be another one coming on to Ojoboom. That was a nice play by Myrmidons. Gold Fury is up and available. They can definitely head over there and pick it up. But the Whirlpool just split the team up as Mogao going to use that decoy to tank up as much as possible. One more hit. Mogao looking for it. That is not... that's a decoy. I fell for it. I was like, wow, he's booking it, looking for that kill. Look at him go. He just poofed into thin air. That wasn't him. Gold Fury, though. Yep. Those are the real members of the Myrmidons.
Yeah, those are the real members of the Myrmidons, and not the puppies that might reset it. Myrmidons secure it, but Dalo has other ideas. Gonna kill off Jordan first. One monkey down. He's gonna be looking for the second one, but not before Tynes can unstable vortex him out of here. Warchi, though. Warchi's gonna go deep.
He's low and healthy, he has to be careful. That's going to be an impale to stop that Tiger Stand stun coming in. Desert Fury across a bunch of them, found that second kill. It's 2 for 1 on the kill count, but the Gold Fury still went the way of the Myrmidon, so they came out victorious overall as far as gold is concerned. But look at that experience graph. It's still sitting slightly in favor of the Poppies, so it's an even thing, even matchup across the board by experience in gold.
Yeah, and maintaining that... that similarity across the XP and the gold difference, especially because the XP is so much in favor of the Poppies at this point in time when they just lost that Gold Fury. That's huge, being able to have that sort of thing. And check this out, right-hand side, Ojoboom. This is what you expect from a Hunter in a melee, into a melee matchup. He's shoved down that tower first, so that's a huge swing back in favor of the Papis as well.
So, as things stand right now, game is pretty close. It's kind of been the story all day long. Of the games we saw, there's only one game where a team really ran away with things. Even the last game we saw, Myrmidons, kind of a slower start to things before it's like, hey, let's just, we feel like winning, so let's do exactly that and then run away at the game in like 10 minutes. Warchi caught left side, looking to run away, gonna chip chase. Dreaded gets caught by the Wrath of Terror up in the skies. Is Apollo landing down? Dreaded is able to find that kill as Dalo arrives to the party.
Yeah, down goes no escape. Tynes is over here as well. He's gonna grab two. David Arnez is not getting out of here, but first off, it's gonna be the kill on towards Dalo. Archangel's rotating around. A huge Kraken could turn things. But he's only gonna drop a Whirlpool and run away because he can't help any dead teammates.
And they're not too worried about him right now. That mid lane tower is looking pretty good for the taking. They could look to tank that up right now. Dardas and Tynes both have a couple. A decent little bit of help.
Mogal's running this way as well.
He's looking
this
for
is gonna
a
be
fish. Will he find the fish?
Multiple stacking. They're going to try and pick off Archangel. Did get magic cudgeled up. He's got that trident and at least the move speed buff at this point in time. Down goes the Whirlpool. He's looking for the passive, but Mogal just slams down the cudgel because look at all those stacks from the Doomorn from Tynes. The unstable vortex just ripped a new one right through Poseidon.
Oh, without a doubt. We'll see. Myrmidons just kind of secure themselves an even look at experience. We're talking about just being barely in favor of the Papis, and Swinge fallen in favor of Myrmidons as well, so they have the lead across the board. But it's still early, only 13 minutes into this matchup. It is still very much anybody's game. And so far today, we've seen both these teams in one game previously on stream. Both made very good showings. I don't expect anything less from this game. Going forward, I don't know. You think Myrmidon's going to be able to just kind of do what they did last game and run away with this one, or you think Poppy's going to be able to kind of turn things back around? What are you feeling?
Poppies have got a stronger late game comp. Yeah, Hunters did take a nerf, but it was more towards their early mid game. They took away the strength of the Heartseeker. That's a huge hit to their early game. And then also, the changes up to Bluestone Pendant sees the shift in the builds. Transcendence now online for both of these Hunters. Transcendence, got to remember that when they hit level 20, that's when they cap out on mana. Up until that point, they're going to continue scaling with that passive of Transcendence.
It still is, even at lower levels, a very, very high physical power item, although it will max out at about 110 mana at max rank. It will definitely be a nice boon, especially in Ullr. You want that a little bit of mana per 5, plus that pool of mana that actually has abilities.
Dardes is just going to drop that no escape down on towards Archangel. He got Krakened up. There was so much damage dumped on towards him. Dalo's going to pick up that kill. Now he's taking to the sky. He's looking for more.
He's looking for a tectonic shift. It's going to be available in 2 seconds. If he can find that, that will be a kill. Warchi, however, cleans that one up for himself. Across the skies, coming from Polly, could find 2 kills. Portal is going to end the life of Dalo. Warchi's still alive. Assy passive has worn off. That extra lifesteal is now gone. Mogal looking for the leap forward to find this kill. There's one. Impale, buying himself some more time.
Oh, he's trying to buy himself as much time as possible, but Arkle is just going to get the heck in there and finish him off. And David Arnez is dead because of a fantastic portal from Tynes. And look at him. He is so big right now on this map. He is the biggest member. 8k gold already up for him. He is 1,500 in front of that Poseidon.
Yeah. Across the board, I believe he's actually about 1,000 gold, maybe a little less than that, 700 or so above anybody else in the game. 604, Doomorn fully stacked many minutes ago, and there's no sign so far of those stacks going away. He takes a tier 1 tower, and oh look, there's a Poseidon attacking me, and now I just moved through a wall because portals are silly.
I really wanted to see that that Whirlpool come down from that Poseidon. It will come down now, but it's a little bit too late. If you could have Whirlpooled up Tynes, you would have at least forced beads from Tynes through him to get through that portal and out to safety, but not off cooldown, unfortunately, means no engage. But Dalo, he's looking left side.
Initiation's coming out. Emerald Dawn's still on cooldown. Fortunately for Arkle, he won't have to worry about that initiation coming in. It's going to be the speed buff, or attack speed buff, cam being picked up for Warchi instead. Gold Fury is up and available if these teams want to start fighting over it. We've seen Poppies force these fights time and time again, and at least for the moment, looking like this time is going to be no different.
Dardes looking to come in here and be the first one on the scene of trying to make his case. He will at least zone out the Poppies. They're not going to be able to go straight on and sneak away a Gold Fury, even though they've got the Sentry Ward on it. They knew exactly where they were, but Myrmidons take the left-hand side mid-camps, get themselves a little bit further ahead with this Gold Fury, obviously being the next point of contention. Look at Arkle, straight back into that left-hand lane.
Arkle mid lane, Whirlpool came out. Arkle did not have the beads, but did not matter in that situation. Tynes using the true space time to get back to the mid lane. It was a 1-for-2 trade. They thought they caught Archangel dead to rights, but the Kraken came out and turned that one back around. David has to be careful. He's a little bit low on health. Mogao kind of sits up on that cloud, waiting for the opportunity. Tectonic shift from the rift. The wall from Thor
though
stops them.
He's in trouble. One more in hand lands. It's not going to be needed. It's the unstable vortex that cleans it up from times. And again, another kill in his pocket. He is so big this game, but Ojo Boom, he wants to shut that down.
Yeah, a little back and forth. They're just going to go ahead and clear up some minions instead. I was doing so well to Tectonic Shift today, and then you mentioned the Tectonic Rift, and now my brain is stuck. I call it Tectonic Shift.
It's the other way around.
It's the other way around. And I'm totally confused right now. I don't want to look on at Tooltip because...
Rift. It's Rift for Dalo.
The wall.
I just checked it for you.
The wall. It's the smashy hammer ground wall comes up from the floor. That's a little too long-winded, but close enough. We're renaming all the abilities in Week 6 of the Uni Challenger Cup. Did you know the name of Wukong's passive? I know what it does. What's the name of it? Speaking of which, no time. Arnez getting locked down in this one. Whirlpool drop down to kind of stop the chase, but the Searing Flesh is shredding his health bar. As are the Shackles. He's going to be forced off and away from the Gold Fury. Tin's not done. Looking for this kill. 1 or 2 more in-hands will find that kill. 1 more. There he goes.
Yeah, but now it's going to be Dardez looking to grab on towards Dalo, of course. Tynes just takes up Portal Wall. That unstable vortex did so much. And now on towards Drought goes Warchi. I don't think he can really fight this. Poseidon's on the backside. And Ojo Boom is there as well, but they don't have the damage. And this is the second Gold Fury. Myrmidons are going to secure this one.
They have the Kraken. They have the Desert Fury. It's a lot of AoE damage. If they can stay alive and land them in a good number of people. There's the Funeral dropped on down as Warchi will barely make it over the wall. Mogao giving chase right now. Magic Cudgel says hello once again and finds a kill. Arco finds Archangel a 1-for-1 over there on the backside of the fight.
Shut down onto Tynes, though. That is a lot of gold for Archangel. He really needed that to get his team into this game. And look at that difference. It closed up so much. But Myrmidons is still going to get the Gold Fury. But now they're only 4k ahead.
Yeah, that was a flat up 750 gold kill coming onto Tens just because he was sitting at 10 and whatever, 10 and 0 at that point in time. So that was a big shutdown. You can see there's a little dip as well as that second kill came in, but that was worth half of that Gold Fury just from that shutdown bonus. Did they lose out overall? Yeah, but that kill helped mitigate that in a big way.
You know, in a very, very big way, because Tynes has now got to rebuild up that Doomorb stack. I mean, it's still gold viable. It's still ahead. Not below 8 stacks. It's very rough to get below 8 stacks, I mean, at this point in time. Yeah. But he's now got to rebuild it up. Chronos Pendant is online. Is this be ethereal? No, it wouldn't be ethereal. It's Soul Reaver. No. I am so lost.
Warlock Sash, Gem of Isolation.
We've renamed everything.
Staff. It's the ringy transforming staffy.
Gem of Isolation.
It could be. Warlock Sash is always an option as well. I don't say it's a little late necessarily,
way too
but
late.
It's 45, 50 stacks or so to break even with the Ethereal Staff. If he's looking just for that extra bit of health to stay alive longer in the fights and make use of his in-hands, Ethereal Staff is definitely an option. At the same time, the slow coming out from the Gem of Isolation doesn't hurt, but it's
really, really strong combo with the Whirlpool. Yeah. That's what he's looking for, I think.
Yeah. That's one of those trade-offs. A lot of people are not a huge fan of it, so it's like one of those interesting, do I go that route? It's also, Gem of Isolation is also a fair bit more expensive, so it's less health, it's less mana. It can go either way. I don't know. Any of the three are really still an option, depending on how Poppies are looking to play the game in the next few minutes. If they want to kind of slow things down for a bit and farm up, Warlock Sash could be an option, but at the same time, if Myrmidons say, you know what, we're going to force a fight, you don't have those stacks, you're going to be at a disadvantage because you just don't have the stacks.
Yeah, that's the problem with buying the Sash, is like playing for time. You just can't. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Anyway. Next up on the map, could it be a fire giant? I mean, we are at 20 minutes at this stage, and Myrmidons have got a lot of ward coverage over towards that side. The focus was on towards Tynes. Fear no Evil's come out in the mid lane to try and get Dreaded towards. Look at the snipe from downtown. Mr. Tynes, you are the master of portals indeed.
He is. He's got to put those stacks back up. 4 more to go. Not quite fully stacked back up, but that's an Obsidian Shard completed. That's going to be a lot more damage. He has a bit of a stacking benefit as well. His passive gives him more. There's a debuff from the transitions. Arna is getting shackled and crippled out of this one. Wrath Terror will find 2 with a knockup, but it's looking like he's going to fall as Dreaded leaps over the wall as far as the Sacred Monkey and secures that kill. And that does mean no Wrath of the Gods available right now for Poppies if Myrmidons want to go for that Fire Giant.
And Arkle, look at this, he just cast the ultimate. This is Fire Giant. They're shoving up the right-hand lane to give the appearance that they're not even going for it. But there is a sentry ward here, and finally one to come through from Dardez. Means that they're going to start this up with no vision. Poppies know that they're on it. but they've got no one to steal.
Yeah, Ojibum is nearby. He works miracles with that ult, but right now 1v5 in that Fire Giant pit. I don't know if he can necessarily do much about this. Tyne's Archangel going at it. Tyne's winning the trade for the time being. Through space and time, gets him out safely. Able to just barely avoid the impale from Warchi.
Oh my god. Wow, that unstable vortex doing so much. Warchi's in a really, really bad spot. I really don't expect him to get out of here at this point in time. Arkel's coming through on the backside as well to zone out anyone else trying to come through and help out Warchi. Warchi will get out, but this is going to be the Papis who's probably losing their second mid tower.
They have bigger turns in sight right now. Why chase someone for a couple hundred gold when you can take 1,500 with that mid tower? Ojibum will fall. They got it killed nevertheless as the tier 2 tower mid lane is about to start getting focused. Backside of the fight, I don't know if anyone told that clone of Mogao that, you know, we can't take the Phoenix yet, buddy. We have to get the tier 2 first. But he did a good job of zoning out the Papis, although I suspect, unlike me, they didn't fall for that being the real one.
Probably not. Oh, but at least they're going to rotate towards this right-hand side and put some pressure down on the map once again with this Fire Giant. Look at the towers still up. Myrmidons have only lost that one on the right-hand side, but this will be the fourth one to fall from the side of the Papis.
Yep, tier 2. Papis might be thinking about this one. She one more pillar drop down. Based on the position right now, Warchi just trying to throw a little bit of poke and knock it out himself. Got locked down by the shackles and no follow-up to be had. Tier 2, now everyone from the Papis pushed off. It's going to be falling very, very quickly. Look at the golden hand as well. There is a fully... Rage is in hand and just 100 gold for Arkel to just buy outright.
Oh, that's brutal. That's so brutal.
27, 55.
Got it. He sold the Death Toll to pick
Death
it up.
Toll will do the trick. So crit is online
big.
for Apollo. He has that pass for extra attack speed every 10 hand attacks that actually connect successfully. Gold Fury is coming up. Tier 2 left lane tower still standing. And then it's all down to those Phoenixes, and they still have 2 minutes on that Fire Giant buff. They have not all the time in the world, but a good deal of the time in the world. There's no Chronos here to take that away from them at the moment.
Well, I do expect them to go towards the left-hand side of the map from Myrmidons at this point in time. That is the tower left standing. That's some more gold advantage. Yep. And, I mean, obviously they're just going to take the Gold Fury on the backside as well, just, you know, for some more gold in hand. But if they can get this left-hand side Phoenix, it's most of the way to securing that next Fire Giant, especially with only 2 minutes left on this one. They're only going to get one Phoenix. Which one's the best? Left-hand side.
Oh, absolutely. If Group Up take the tier 2 as well, it's kind of like an extra little bonus. It's like the cherry on top of that lovely... Poppy's base rubble destruction tower pile. I don't know. It's gonna be nice. It's extra free gold while they look to take this Phoenix left lane. Moga on the back, taking that attack speed buff, looking to refresh Arkel's before they actually start to see properly. They're basically just waiting on Jordan to get back to base. He hadn't gone back with them initially. He was picking up a couple camps across the map. Once they look to group up, though, the possibility for those guys to actually start sieging the base properly is definitely going to be there.
And that's the problem for them. Dalo is looking for some picks, any potential he can really do, but he's going to have to forfeit this tower, and he does so. Warchi, that might have been a mistake, son. Down comes the chains. They're trying to look to snare him, stun him up, but a great wall from Dalo is going to keep his 80 carry alive.
Yeah, the grouping is definitely about to start up here. All the ultimates in the game are online. How big of an initiation do they go for? Will Poppies look to counter-engage instead and start the fight on their own terms? We're about to find out right now because Myrmidons are looking for this Phoenix and damage and poke in. Thrown out Tyne's not going to get hit by that double tap off Dalo. Warchi took a little bit of poke though, sitting about a third of his health. He's been trying to lifesteal off these minions, but more poke. Archangel chunked for half his health of one unstable vortex through space and time for the kill. Not quite going to find it, but Mogao trying to lock him down, not able to. Gets Warchi instead.
Though, he's dead. Mogao got that one. Dalo's trying to do what he can, but now look at this. Ojo Boom's forced to run backwards. They can fight this on towards the Titan. They're incredibly low. Argyle's actually tanking up this Phoenix. He's going to fall to it. No! What? 27 health on the HP bar of Argyle. And Ojo Boom's trying to do some more DPS, but they're going to be forced to defend this one. They will at least find Dardez. But look at that health bar of Argyle. Look at that. Phoenix I'm not sure if Fire Giant just wore off, but I think the health generation from Fire Giant just saved him.
It definitely could have. It was about 15 seconds ago. It was right about that time. If not, the Fire Giant health regen while his health bar was not full definitely saved his life right there. One tick less, he would have been dead. With that, though, Myrmidons chased a little too far for some kills. They got Warchi, lost Dardes in the process, and now it's Poppies looking to regain control of the map here as they start to drop down a few wards by that Fire Giant. It's not respawned quite yet. That's a big pick as well. Dardas will be up just in time. If they can find another pick, this gold Fire Giant could very much be in their hand. I was so close I messed it up in the end of the day.
Oh, Mogao, he's going to get caught a little bit. So is Tynes, forced to take that portal to safety. If they can find anything, Archangel was looking for that whirlpool. But look at this, the hunters from the side of Papis are just ticking on right now. That fire giant, it has just spawned. This is where it all goes down. This is where this game is won or lost.
It very well could come down to this last fight. All of the Phoenixes are still standing full health. If Papis get a fire giant right now, there's so many towers to pick up. Warchi gets picked!
Warchi was so close to Myrmidons for absolutely no reason. Archangel's gonna get picked as well. It's all down to Ojo Boom and what he can do, but Archile and Tynes are both still alive. He's got too much to handle. Dardas has got
guys coming down. Mogao gets that another kill as Archile picks up that one in that situation. Now it's 4 members, excuse me, of the Papis down. Only Ojo Boom left standing. He knows he cannot look to fight this 1v5. He's gonna go ahead and just head back to base and get ready for the inevitable siege coming from Myrmidons. They had that opportunity. You called it. Warchi, he's been playing very aggressive with his frontline positioning, but he's not a frontliner. He got picked off, and his team just lost that fight because of it.
Wow. That was Warchi. What were you even doing there, son? You should know exactly where the team is. Ah, maybe it was some lag on his connection. I don't know, but I don't want to blame it on that. He's better than that. We all know Warchi's better than that. That's a very rare mistake, and the Myrmidons took full advantage.
Yeah, but whatever ended up happening, like I said, Papis ending up paying for it. Phoenix in mid lane fell. Fire Giant was picked up just prior to that. Right side Phoenix, they could look for something right here, right now. They don't have much left to defend. If they don't do something now, David Arnaz going forward. Thor up there. They're looking to make the defense right now. If they can find Dardas, that would be a big pick for them, but the rest of the team will collapse on in immediately if they dive in. They found Dardas, trying to burst him in and do exactly that.
Yeah, now Dalo is in the middle of this fight as well. David Arnaz is so low, but he's only a support. Arca will find him. Dalo's incredibly low. Will miss so many in-hands though, and that's the important part. Warchi's going hand, looking for Drawdead. Can he get the damage through there? Tynes has got to blink on towards him, but he's got too much. Warchi will eventually find this kill. No, he doesn't! Tynes has got the in-hands! Tynes will win the boxing match with a Hunter! Wow, you just got hunted, son.
Midgardian Male, Void Shield. We didn't touch on this during the game, but that just saved the lives of Drawdead and cost Warchi his life. You don't see those Void Shields coming out. It's a physical power reduction aura on that item. It's quite strong. People tend to ignore the item, but when you look at the math of it, it's a pretty effective one. Look at, I'm gonna actually put up so I want to see the exact number myself. That's Midgardian Male. There we go. It's 15 physical power reduction, which you think that's out. It's only 15. It's like, well, who cares? When you factor in the critical damage formula, stuff like that, that can be a lot of the course of fight. Combine it with Midgardian Male, they're attacking slower, they're moving slower, and they're hitting for less when they do actually hit. It's a big overall debuff coming out of that Wukong son. One of the monkeys, the other monkey, Batz. That's the one. And in that particular,
that's only a protection debuff.
It's protection.
Yeah, it's only a protection debuff. There you go.
Thinking about
we just taught Yoden a thing. You're not wrong. You're clearly not wrong. That's in your contract.
The magical shield is a magic power debuff. I know that much.
Yeah.
The Void Stone has the protection debuff. So it's not, I'm completely off base. Sometimes I just get very, very confused. It's a small miracle. We have not run into math so far today, guys. So the fact that I just got one thing slightly off in an item we never see, take it as it is. It could have been a lot worse.
I like running it. The physical protection debuff.
It is nice.
Because of look at that, they've got Hunbats, they've got Drawdead on the Sun Wukong. Like there's a bunch of different things that they can utilize with that. Look at the penetration that Sun Wukong's coming out of that. You add in the Void Shield on top of that, he does so much damage.
Yeah.
So much damage.
So it's good, even though it doesn't actually reduce the power on the enemy, apparently. It's a tooltip bug, guys. Seriously, that's what it really is. Nevertheless, jokes aside, David Arnaz 3-man Wrath Terror on the backside of this fight. Dalo drops on in, finds the tins, but he's going to portal through the wall just far enough away to live. Let's get the fight. 4-man possible, no escape coming in. Found 2. The fight is scattered in all places as Archile gets the first kill.
But it's only David Arnaz and Ojo Boom is still alive. He doesn't quite find the stun on towards Tynes. Tynes will blink through and clean it up, and that was Warchi out of there. It's only Archangel and Dalo that are able to defend this one, and I don't think Papis have got a chance in hell.
Yeah, Titan is dropping slowly but surely. Dalo and Archangel need a big, big defense right now. 25% health left on that Titan. We'll see if they can pull something off. It's not looking like his fire minions have reached the base. Those archers are going to town, and the Titan will fall. Myrmidons will take victory over the Papis to, I believe, at least, go out of Group B for Week 1 of the European Challenger Cup at the top of the standings.
Yeah, Myrmidons 3-0 will defeat the Papis to send them to 2-1. So that's where things are going to stand at the end of week 1. Team Bizarre as well did win the bottom of the table bracket matchup from Group B, which will have us with the orders coming out of both of our groups from today. Septum 7 went 3-0 in Group A. They're at the top. Team Illusion are going to go 2-1 at this stage. They're going to be in second place. Six Sigma dropped their game against Team Illusion to send Team Illusion through one game ahead of them. So they're now at 1-2. Losing Road, 0-3. Not out of things quite yet. There's still a whole week of games for us. But Poseidon, take us through Group B.
Yeah, Group B. I don't have the standings actually sitting up here right now, so if you can go ahead and run through those as well, I can talk about what the teams exactly did. I'm doing the production side of things too. You get to do the stat stuff. I could do the production and the casting thing. You do the casting and the stats. It works out. Shared effort.
We keep you away from that.
I'm not allowed to have
basically
numbers.
What you're saying.
Yes, I'm not supposed to be near numbers.
All right, Myrmidons are going to win the group this week and head to 3-0. In second place, Papis, after their loss in that final game, headed 2-1. Team Bizarre are going to be at 1-2 after they took out Moonman in that third match, who are now sitting at 0-3 and on the bottom of the table for week 1.
Yep. Well, that said, guys, that's going to wrap things up for week 6 of the Challenger Cup. There's one more week of group stage round robins come up next weekend. We're back here at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. 1300 CEST, time zones and numbers. See, I'm not allowed to be near numbers, even if it's time-based. For EU, we'll be next Sunday again for these guys. We saw them play today. We'll see them again next weekend, bright and early, 9 a.m. and some CEST time. I don't know what it is. Many hours afterwards. About, 5 hours ago we started? 6 hours ago.
Yeah, actually.
5 hours ago.
Pretty much bang on.
5 hours before now. Occasionally I can sort of math. Nevertheless, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a great day. The games out of EU have been insane. The games out of NA have been just as insane, despite our early expectations earlier on in the open bracket tournaments, or portion of the Challenger Cup tournament for this split. It's coming down to the wire, guys. There's a bunch of teams looking to close out these spots towards the finals in Week 8. Potentially the qualifiers for those victors in a couple of weeks' time, about a month or so from now. And then beyond that, on to the SPL potentially, where if these teams make it, they could potentially, if they do well in the fall split, find themselves looking at a seat at the Season 2 Smite World Championship. That is still a very, very long ways off, however. And there's a lot more Smite games for these guys to fight through before then. So, to wrap things up for the day, thank you guys very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. For my co-caster, Ranconius, Hindu Man, the backroom staff, and hi-rez Studios. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great day.
Hindu, take us out with a song.
Is that him? Or is that you? Is that Hindu?
No.
It's Hindu.
Hindu.
See you all next week, guys. Peace.